Have you ever wondered how we're navigating this world, how we see ourselves in this world, and the effects we have on this world? Well, in order for us to understand this, first let's look at some key terms that we need to understand. Ego is a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. Media is the means of mass communication, broadcasting, publishing, and the internet regarded collectively. Ego media explores the impact of these rapidly evolving media on forms and practices of self-representation, giving a multidimensional account of how the ego presents itself through and across the digital media landscape and how this has both changed and remediated earlier modes. Hot is having a high degree of heat or a high temperature. Media is the means of mass communication, broadcasting, publishing, and the internet regarded collectively. Hot media is that which engages one's sense completely. It demands little interaction from the user because it spoon feeds the content. Hot media is also high definition because it is rich in sensory data, attracting high friction due to high-speed interactions, which increases at high volume. Hot media also looks inward at the self and revolves around the self, directing attention towards the self. Dark is with little or no light, the absence of light in a place, or a dark color or shade. Sky is the region of the atmosphere and outer space seen from the Earth. Dark skies are places where the darkness of the night sky is relatively free of interference from artificial light. Light is a natural agent that stimulates sight and makes things visible. Electricity is a form of energy resulting from the existence of charged particles such as electrons or protons, either statically as an accumulation of charge or dynamically as a current. A light bulb is a device used to convert electricity into light consisting of a source of illumination. Sky is the region of the atmosphere and outer space seen from the Earth. Glow is giving out steady light without flame, a steady radiance of light or heat. And sky glow is the brightening of the night sky, mostly over urban areas, due to the electric lights of cars, street lamps, offices, factories, outdoor advertising, and buildings, turning night into day for everyone. How has sky glow and light pollution increased and come to be? Exactly what has contributed to that? Well, in a period of just 13 years, the number of people in the consumer class will increase by over 2 billion people. The size of the global middle class will increase from 3.5 billion in 2017 to 5.6 billion by 2030. Most new consumers will come from big and large populated areas, from Asia, specifically within China and India, being the main drivers of growth and being the countries that hold the most population. So due to an increasing population as well as increasing demand for consumption and for consumerism, light pollution and sky glow has increased due to increasing cities, increasing factories, and increasing civilization. So how impactful is sky glow and light pollution? Well, more than 80% of the world's population, 99% of Americans and Europeans live under sky glow. According to the Tucson, Arizona-based International Dark Sky Association, the sky glow of Los Angeles is visible from an airplane more than 200 miles away. Light pollution is a global issue. In a computer-generated map based on thousands of satellite photos by the World Atlas of Night Sky Brightness in 2016, it was published a map that basically shows all the light pollution in the world. The atlas shows how and where our globe is lit up at night. There's a lot of areas of North America, Europe, and the Middle East, and Asia that are shown glowing. There have also been studies done in Israel to try and show the connection between light pollution and cancer. There was a study team that used satellite photos to gauge the level of nighttime artificial light in 147 communities in Israel, and then overlaid the photos with a map detailing the distribution of breast cancer cases. The results showed a statistically significant correlation between outdoor artificial light at night and breast cancer, even when controlling for population density, affluence, and air pollution. Women who were living in neighborhoods where it was bright enough to read a book outside at midnight had a 73% higher risk of developing breast cancer than those who were reading in areas with the least amount of outdoor artificial lighting. Not only does light pollution affect us, but it also affects animals as well. Many animal behaviors have been impacted, such as migration patterns, wake up and sleep habits, and habitat formation. Because of light pollution, sea turtles and birds guided by moonlight during migration get confused, lose their way, and often die because they are attracted either to the road and get hit by cars, or never make it in time to make it to the ocean to get food. Large numbers of insects, a primary source for birds and other animals, are drawn to artificial lights and are instantly killed upon impact with light sources. Birds are also affected by this, and many cities have adopted a lights out program to turn off building lights during bird migration. A study of blackbirds in Germany found that traffic noise and artificial night lighting causes birds in the city to become active earlier than birds in natural areas, waking and singing as much as 5 hours sooner than their country cousins. Animals living under the sea may also be affected by underwater artificial lighting. One study looked at how marine animals responded to brightly lit panels submerged underwater off the coast of Wales. Fewer filter-feeding animals such as sea squirts and sea bristles made their homes near the lighting panels, which this could also mean light from oil rigs, passing ships, and harbors that are altering and affecting marine ecosystems. Light pollution can also affect birds when they are migrating, confusing them and causing them to crash into buildings due to the lights that are left on inside of tall office buildings. In New York City alone, about 10,000 migratory birds are injured and killed crashing into skyscrapers and high-rise buildings. There is an estimation of birds dying from collisions across North America ranging from 98 million to close to 1 billion a year. So what is the connection between light pollution, sky glow, and hot media and ego media? Well, with sky glow and light pollution, it's all created from this light bulb and this electricity that has been made by humans in order for them to be able to harness that energy and create a very useful tool for them. Originally, the light bulb was created so that then we can see inside of our rooms. That way we don't have to work by candlelight anymore. So this artificial man-made light bulb has slowly evolved and gone from being a useful tool to now having all sorts of functions, from being used to light up rooms to being used to work inside of different devices such as phones, like the one that I'm recording on now, so that way we can use those phones for all sorts of things, as well as even being used for entertainment purposes, as well as being used for safety reasons to light up streets at night. However, this light bulb that revolves around us because we made it specifically for us for our function and use has had a great impact and has totally disrupted nature and disrupted our view of the world. We see the light bulb being used in so many different ways, and the impact that the light bulb has had on our society can be represented in many different ways. We can see in Spectre, made by Sterling Ruby, this fluorescent orange monolith which appears as an apparition in the desert. The bright geometric sculpture creates a jarring optical illusion resembling a photoshopped composite or collage, as if something has been removed or erased from the landscape. The block acts as a cipher or stand-in, mimicking the form it could be: a shipping container, a military bunker, an unidentified object, an abandoned homestead. Fluorescent orange is traditionally used for safety as a warning. Here, that logic is reversed: a ghostly object set apart from the natural environment, hiding in plain sight. So this object is representing a disruption in our nature, in the world around us. It is a man-made object that just sits there in nature. And the whole big aspect of this is how bright and fluorescent it is, how disruptive it is. This thing that we have created in order to represent something for us is so jarring when it is put in our natural environment, possibly showing the color being orange as a warning sign, possibly warning us against this disruption and the negative impacts that it could cause. The fact that humans have left this huge mark on the earth because of all of our actions and creations, and possibly the negative impacts that those can have. We can take a look at a concise passage by A.I. Shashai, who created a pyramid in Saudi Arabia that playfully employs two distinctive symbols of civilization and commerce, one ancient and one modern. The pyramid has been a subject of fascination and study across the various different fields for its centuries, such as architecture, engineering, science, and spirituality. The artist uses the pyramid for its symbolic significance, identifying advanced civilizations due to the genius of its design. It is a monument of ancient knowledge and wisdom. The plastic palette is typically used for shipping goods all over the world and has become the foundation of the modern trade system. Split down the middle, the viewer is invited to enter the pyramid. Within, they are confronted with both nature and the man-made. This experience encourages thoughts around man's legacy, the importance of what we leave behind, and our place in the universe. So with this art piece, what is also seen is that it is a representation of something in nature. So it is supposed to be representational of this aspect of nature that is important to humans in our history, and supposed to be showing the impact that it has had for us. However, the impact that we can be making on our environment is the fact that instead of just appreciating the part of nature itself and that whole passage, that whole area that has been so important to trade routes, and symbolizing just that, we have decided to create something man-made, because this man-made version of it is possibly better and fits our view of it better. We are using that light bulb in order to create and illuminate a more advanced version of that aspect of our history that we deem is so important. It really connects to hot media and ego media because it looks at us. It looks at specifically our gain from this part of nature, our gain in our history that ties in with this nature, and looks at people coming and taking pictures with it themselves and people walking into it, and it's all about the person and their experience within that piece of art. Our last example that we can look at is the Infinity Mirrored Room, the souls of millions of light years away. It is an immersive environment that fosters an out-of-body experience, heightens one's senses, and produces a repetitive illusion through the use of lights and mirrors. Similar in appearance to stars in the galaxy, hundreds of LED lights hang and flicker in a rhythmic pattern that seems to suspend both space and time. The visitor becomes integral to this work as his or her body activates the environment while simultaneously vanishing into the infinite space. So this piece perfectly encompasses ego media and hot media, with the idea that ego media, you're looking inwards at yourself and you're wanting all the attention on you and everything to be about you. Hot media has that friction, high intensity, high movement, and so with this kind of piece, it really attracts people to want to take pictures, to put themselves in that space, and to put themselves out onto social media, showing that, hey, look, I was in this like really cool futuristic spacey kind of art piece. And the way that it can connect to our skies is the representation of that light bulb, and that light bulb that we have made. We have captured that natural occurrence of light just existing in nature, and we have harnessed it into a way that we can control it. And it's supposed to be representing, this light bulb is supposed to be representing nature and this thing that we don't see very often at all anymore, which is stars in the sky. Yet it's so paradoxical because this light bulb also has caused so many issues and has actually kept us from seeing the sky, and has also caused all kinds of problems such as animals getting hurt, plants not being able to grow, insects not being able to multiply as quickly as they need to for birds to eat them, and our health getting affected as well. I hope that you learned something new in this video, and I hope that you really enjoyed it, and please research and check out dark skies and more information about this if you're interested.